Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going deep on FEINDEF.
Okay.
The International Defense and Security Exhibition, over in Madrid.
Yeah.
We've got a whole bunch of reports, articles, all sorts of stuff.
Excellent.
And, you're probably going to be pretty surprised by some of the stuff that FEINDEF is tackling these days.
Really pushing the envelope.
Yeah. And I know you follow this stuff, cutting edge tech and security and, how all the global players are working together.
Right.
Well, FEINDEF is right in the middle of all that.
It really is. It's a very unique event.
Yeah.
What we're seeing is a shift away from the traditional, defense expo.
Okay.
FEINDEF is more like a hub.
Yeah.
Where security and innovation kind of come together.
Right.
It's a chance to see all these emerging technologies and get a feel for, how defense strategies are evolving.
So it's not just like showing off the newest fighter jets and tanks and...
No, not at all.
Okay.
FEINDEF is tackling themes that go way beyond, the traditional military hardware. Like sustainability, for example. That's a major focus this year.
Okay. I admit sustainability is not the first thing that pops into my head when I think about defense.
Right.
But why is that becoming so crucial in this sector?
But just think about all the logistics of, modern military operations.
Sure.
Fuel consumption,
Correct.
Waste disposal, environmental impact.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all huge considerations.
Sure.
And, we're dealing with climate change.
For sure.
The defense industry just can't ignore, its own footprint anymore.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
So are we talking like electric tanks, solar-powered drones, or what kind of sustainable technologies are we seeing?
It's not quite that futuristic yet.
Okay.
But, we are seeing big strides in things like biofuels, hybrid engines for military vehicles, renewable energy sources for powering bases.
Oh, wow.
And there's also this big push for more efficient manufacturing processes.
Yeah.
Waste reduction when you're making military equipment.
So it's like a whole bunch of different approaches to sustainability, from fuel sources all the way to the way that they're manufacturing.
Exactly. It's multifaceted.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But before we go too deep on sustainability,
Okay.
can we kind of back up a little bit?
Sure.
Give me a quick rundown of what FEINDEF actually is.
Yeah, so FEINDEF, it happens every 2 years.
Okay.
And it really is like a showcase for the Spanish defense industry.
Okay.
It's their platform to highlight what they can do, attract foreign investment.
Right.
Foster collaborations with international partners.
Yeah.
You'll find everything there, from high-tech demos of helicopters, robotic systems.
Wow.
To thematic pavilions that are dedicated to specific areas like cybersecurity, unmanned vehicles.
Wow.
And then, of course, behind the scenes, there's a lot of networking happening.
It sounds like a mix of a trade show and like a tech conference and some kind of diplomatic summit.
It's all rolled into one.
And it's all happening in Madrid. Is there a specific reason why Spain is hosting this, such a prominent event in this industry?
Well, Madrid is very strategically located.
Okay.
It's a hub with a really vibrant business environment.
Right.
The city has, a world-class airport.
Makes it easy to get to.
Makes it super accessible, for international attendees.
For sure.
And because it's in Spain's capital, you have easy access to government officials.
Right.
Key decision makers. And that's really crucial for forging, these partnerships and influencing policy.
So it's not just about the tapas and the flamenco dancing.
Now, those are definitely perks.
Yeah.
But the city's logistical advantages and its status as a political and economic center make it a perfect location for FEINDEF.
Right.
It really does bring together all the right elements for a successful event.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned FEINDEF attracts a really diverse crowd.
Yeah, it does.
Who exactly are we talking about?
Well, you'll find government delegations from all over the world, and not just from defense ministries, but also, from foreign affairs, trade technology. You have military personnel from various countries.
Right.
Both from NATO and non-NATO countries.
Okay.
And then, of course, the private sector is heavily represented there.
I bet.
From the huge multinational defense giants to small and medium enterprises, you even have startups.
Oh, wow.
Hoping to break into the market.
Yeah.
So, quite a mix.
Wow. So it sounds like FEINDEF isn't just about, selling weapons. It's about this bigger conversation about the future of security.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll also see research institutions, NGOs.
Oh, wow.
which highlights the fact that, defense and security, it's not just the domain of governments and military forces anymore.
Right.
It's a truly global effort.
Yeah.
It requires collaboration across so many different sectors and disciplines.
Now, you might be wondering what all these different attendees actually do at FEINDEF.
Right.
Well, the impact of this event goes way beyond those exhibition halls.
Absolutely.
So let's explore those impacts next. Oh,
okay.
sounds good.
So we've got all these different people coming together, governments, military industry researchers, NGOs.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean in terms of impact?
Right.
Does it just spark some interesting conversation, or does it lead to actual, tangible outcomes?
Well, it's definitely more than just talk.
Okay.
For Spain's defense industry, FEINDEF is an economic driver.
Okay.
All the foreign investment it attracts,
Right.
the contracts they sign, the boost to local businesses.
Yeah.
It's a chance for them to, really solidify their position as a technology leader, especially in things like shipbuilding and aerospace,
Makes sense.
where they've got real expertise.
So it's a win for the Spanish economy.
Yeah.
What about on like a global scale, though?
Yeah.
Does unmanned actually influence policy and international relations?
It does in a couple of ways.
Okay.
So first, it gives policymakers a first-hand look at what's happening in defense technology.
Oh, interesting.
They can see the latest innovations, understand all the emerging threats.
And then start thinking about how to adapt, policies and regulations.
Right.
And then second, FEINDEF fosters international collaboration.
Okay.
It's like a neutral ground where countries can discuss shared security concerns,
Right.
explore joint ventures, and even smooth over some of those diplomatic wrinkles.
It's interesting to think of it almost as like a catalyst for diplomacy, especially in such a, high-stakes field.
Yeah.
But let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
Do you have any specific examples of success stories from FEINDEF, companies that have made big leaps, partnerships that have been formed?
Absolutely. One that comes to mind is a Spanish drone manufacturer.
Okay.
Who, unveiled this new stealth UAV prototype at FEINDEF a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And that really caught the attention of several international delegations.
I bet.
And it led to some big contracts partnerships.
Wow.
So they've gone from a relatively small player to a major force in the UAV market.
That's awesome. That's a great example of how it can launch a company onto that global stage.
Right.
What about on a smaller scale, though? Any stories about startups that have found success?
There's this fascinating case of an AI startup.
Okay.
They were showing off their threat analysis software at FEINDEF.
Oh, wow.
And they weren't even really looking for, a major deal.
Right.
But their approach was so innovative, it caught the eye of a big defense contractor.
Wow.
Led to a co-development project.
That's great.
Gave the startup access to all these resources and expertise they wouldn't have had otherwise.
That's awesome. So it's a proving ground for companies of all sizes, from the established giants to, the ones just getting off the ground.
Exactly.
So looking towards the future, what trends do you think are going to shape, the next FEINDEF and just the defense landscape in general?
Yeah, cybersecurity is only going to become more central.
Okay.
Cyber attacks are getting more and more sophisticated.
Right.
And the stakes are so high. Yep. So I think we're going to see a lot more focus on threat detection, data protection, securing critical infrastructure.
AI in warfare, that's both intriguing and kind of terrifying.
It is.
It feels like uncharted territory ethically and strategically.
It is. And that's why events like FEINDEF are so crucial.
Right.
They give us this platform to discuss these issues openly.
Right.
For experts to share concerns and policymakers to start grappling with the implications.
So while we see all this, cutting edge technology on display at FEINDEF, it's not just about that wow factor.
Right.
It's about having these tough conversations about the future that we're creating.
Exactly.
What about sustainability?
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier. Do you think that's going to continue to be a major focus?
Oh, absolutely. Sustainability isn't just a fad in defense.
Okay.
It's a necessity.
Right.
The pressure to reduce environmental impact, conserve resources, adopt cleaner technology that's only going to increase. I think we'll see more and more innovation in things like biofuels, renewable energy, even recycling military equipment.
It's amazing to see how these themes are all intertwining innovation, sustainability, the global nature of security.
It's fascinating.
But zoom in a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you paint me a picture of what it's actually like to be at FEINDEF?
Yeah. So imagine you're walking into this huge exhibition hall.
Okay.
It's buzzing with energy.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by all this amazing technology.
I bet.
Sleek fighter jets, armored vehicles, robotic systems displays with cutting-edge cybersecurity solutions.
Oh,
It's sensory overload in the best way possible.
that's awesome.
You can see live demonstrations, listen to expert panels, even get hands-on with some of the tech.
I can practically hear the whirring of drones and the chatter of all the attendees.
Yeah, it's really something.
It's incredible.
It is. And what's remarkable is it's not just about the spectacle.
Okay.
There's a real buzz of collaboration, a genuine desire to, address these security challenges that we're facing.
Yeah.
People from all over the world.
Right.
Military personnel, government officials, researchers, industry leaders,
Wow.
engaging in deep conversations, exchanging ideas, forging partnerships.
That's really cool. So it's that coming together of minds that makes it so much more than just an expo.
It's a microcosm
Yeah.
of this global effort to address security in a world that's changing so rapidly.
We've talked a lot about the big picture, the themes, the impact.
Yeah.
Let's delve into some of the specific technologies that are grabbing attention.
Okay.
What are some of the innovations that really stand out?
Well, one area that's creating a lot of buzz is unmanned systems.
Okay. Unmanned systems. That's a pretty broad category.
It is.
Are we mostly talking about drones, or are there other types of autonomous vehicles, kind of making waves at FEINDEF?
Yeah, drones are definitely a major focus.
Okay.
But unmanned systems, covers a much wider range of vehicles and platforms.
Okay.
We're seeing advancements in unmanned ground vehicles, underwater vehicles, even autonomous systems for logistics and support roles.
So it's not just about replacing soldiers on the battlefield. It's about automating tasks across the whole military landscape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it. Unmanned systems can be used for reconnaissance and surveillance.
Right.
Transporting supplies, bomb disposal.
Wow.
Search and rescue operations in dangerous environments.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Minimize risk, maximize efficiency.
Right.
But when it comes to drones specifically,
Okay.
what are some of the innovations that are really catching people's attention?
Well, stealth technology is a big one.
Makes sense.
We're seeing drones that are designed to be basically invisible to radar.
Wow.
Which makes them really effective for reconnaissance and intelligence gathering.
Yeah.
And then there's also a lot of focus on endurance.
Okay.
Developing drones that can stay in the air for longer periods, cover huge distances, even operate in really tough weather conditions.
So we're talking drones that could potentially stay up for days or even weeks without landing?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
That's incredible. What about the ethical stuff surrounding autonomous weapons?
Right.
Are those issues being addressed at FEINDEF?
Absolutely. There are panels and discussions specifically focused on the ethical and legal challenges that come with these unmanned systems.
Makes sense.
Especially, the ones with autonomous capabilities.
Yeah.
It's a really complex issue.
Sure.
How much autonomy should they have?
Right.
Who's responsible if something goes wrong?
Yeah.
How do we make sure there's human oversight and prevent, unintended consequences?
These are questions that, society as a whole needs to deal with, not just the defense sector.
I agree.
It feels like we're at this point where technology is developing faster than our ability to really understand, all the implications.
Yeah, it's a fast-moving target.
But switching gears a bit, you mentioned cybersecurity as a major trend, shaping the future of defense.
Yeah.
What are some of the key areas within cybersecurity that are being focused on?
Protecting critical infrastructure is a top priority.
Okay.
Power grids, communication networks, transportation systems.
Right.
These are all potential targets for cyber attacks.
Yeah. It's kind of a scary thought how vulnerable we are to these attacks.
Yeah.
It's like this whole new dimension of warfare.
It really is.
What kinds of solutions are they showing off at FEINDEF?
Well, there's a whole range.
Uh-huh.
Everything from, really sophisticated threat detection systems that can identify and neutralize malicious activity right as it's happening.
Wow.
To advanced encryption technologies that protect sensitive data.
Yeah.
And then there are companies that specialize in cyber forensics, incident response training personnel.
Makes sense.
To defend against all these evolving threats.
So cybersecurity is like this rapidly growing field.
Right, yeah.
Constant need for new innovation to stay ahead.
Definitely.
We've talked a lot about technology, but at the end of the day, it's people who drive the defense industry.
It is.
What role does human capital development play at FEINDEF?
Well, FEINDEF recognizes that a strong defense industry needs a skilled workforce.
For sure.
There are whole pavilions.
Oh, wow.
Showcasing educational opportunities in defense-related fields.
Okay.
engineering, cybersecurity, data science, military strategy, you name it.
Wow, that's a lot.
You'll find universities, technical schools, military academies all actively recruiting, highlighting their programs.
So it's not just about the gadgets, it's about investing in the next generation.
Exactly.
That's great.
And it goes beyond formal education, too.
Okay.
There are workshops, seminars, networking events,
Yeah.
all designed to connect, experienced professionals with people who are just starting out.
Yeah.
Fostering mentorship, sharing knowledge, building a strong talent pipeline for the future.
It sounds like FEINDEF is creating this really dynamic ecosystem.
It is.
Where technology, human expertise, and international collaboration all come together.
They all intersect.
Let's step back and talk about Spain's role in all this. How does FEINDEF contribute to Spain's position on the global stage, especially within the defense industry?
Well, it's a really powerful statement about their capabilities and ambitions. It shows their technological strength, their commitment to innovation, their willingness to collaborate on a global scale.
So it's a chance for Spain to, kind of flex its muscles and show the world what they can do.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
But it's not just about projecting power.
Right.
It's about demonstrating their expertise.
Yeah.
Establishing themselves as a reliable partner.
Makes sense.
In the international defense community.
I imagine attracting foreign investment is a big part of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
International companies see all the innovation that's happening in Spain.
Right.
The skilled workforce, the government's commitment to the industry.
For sure.
And FEINDEF is the platform for them to connect with Spanish firms, explore partnerships, invest in the growth of the industry.
It's about building bridges, not walls.
Exactly. FEINDEF fosters this environment of collaboration and knowledge sharing, recognizing that the challenges we face in defense and security, they're global.
They are.
And they need collective solutions.
This has been a really incredible journey, exploring the world of FEINDEF.
It has.
We've covered everything from cutting-edge tech to ethical considerations, the impact on sustainability, Spain's role in the global landscape.
It's a lot to unpack.
It really is. It's clear that FEINDEF is so much more than just a defense expo.
Right.
It's a window into the future of security, a melting pot of ideas, and just a testament to the power of human ingenuity and collaboration.
And a reminder that even in a field like defense, which is complex and often full of tension,
for sure,
there's room for progress, innovation, a shared commitment to building a more secure and sustainable world.
Absolutely. And as you, our listener, absorb all this information and think about the future of defense, we leave you with this. What role do you see yourself playing in shaping this evolving landscape?
That's a great question.
Whether it's through your career choices, your engagement in policy discussions, or just staying informed about the issues. Yeah.
Remember, the future of security isn't something that happens to us. It's something we create together.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.